Hi there, it's Paul. Well, the title of this video should give you some indication as to what it's about. It's my coming out video of sorts. Even though I haven't really felt in for a while, I have been thinking about making this video for a while, but honestly, I've just been nervous about what people may think. But I feel like because of the cultural and political circumstances right now, it just seems more relevant than ever. But it's not a political discussion for me. It's very personal. And I feel like there needs to be more empathy on all sides. And so I'm doing what I can to contribute to that. I am a Christian, a traditional Christian who holds to the view of marriage as being between a man and a woman. But I also am a guy who's attracted to other guys. And I am okay living in that tension. And I just want to explain a little bit about why. It certainly hasn't been an easy journey, and if anything, I've learned a lot of empathy because I have felt like an outsider for most of my life. Honestly, I grew up in a context where the only way I heard homosexuality even discussed was with condemnation or insensitive joking from my peers, and everybody knows you can't be a good Christian kid and be gay, right? And I just remember feeling alone and afraid and guilty because I thought God was mad at me, and then I thought no one else knew what I felt like. I just felt really alone, and ultimately that led to really dark place of depression in my early college years, where I finally felt like I had the freedom to make my own decisions regarding what I believed, but it was scary because I thought I'd either have to give up this faith that meant a lot to me, but then I had all these inner feelings that were creating a lot of turmoil, and I couldn't live with that. So I didn't have anything to lose. I needed to tell somebody. I was part of this Christian campus group, and I finally worked up the courage to tell one of the leaders, and then a couple friends that were close to me, and I was so nervous. But I knew I didn't have anything to lose because I was miserable anyway, and their response to me was exactly the opposite of what I had anticipated. They accepted me where I was at, professing to be a Christian, but liking guys and having that love and acceptance in my mess. That was huge, and I think everybody needs to have that no matter where they're at in the journey. And I was still questioning my faith and questioning God, and I think if your belief system is worth having, then it can stand up to scrutiny, and God's a big boy, he can handle that. I realize it's probably a whole nother conversation, but I have chosen ultimately to prioritize my faith over my sexual feelings. And practically for me that looks like being single and celibate, at least for the foreseeable future. I know you may disagree with me, but to me it's not unreasonable. Here's why. Ultimately, I believe that Jesus Christ died for me. That's the biggest reason. And again, that's a whole other conversation that I'd love to have with you. But I believe Jesus Christ was a real person who claimed to be God, God's Son, and died for me so that I could know God and be saved from a worthless life and from eternal death. And that means I must be really valuable to him. I must be really valuable to God. If he loves me that much, then his rules for life aren't arbitrary. They're meant to give me the best life that I can have. And if the thanks that I can give him for literally saving my life is to live in a way that lines up with his plan, then even if it's a little bit of a cost to me, then it's worth it and reasonable, ultimately satisfying. I want to be happy just like everyone else, and I think that my faith in God and knowing him is the best shot at being happy. I really believe that. But this is just the start of a conversation. I realize that you might not agree with me. That's okay. I would love to hear your story, hear where you're coming from, and that's why I made this video, just to get it out there, and so I can have a conversation with you, preferably in person. It's hard to have a meaningful conversation on Facebook or YouTube, but we'll make it happen. So thank you for listening to me, and good luck on your journey.